Welcome to Recruiting Intel on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook. That's Justin Wells. That's Coach Dub. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. And of course, head to InsideTexas.com. Use that first link in our description. Use that QR code at the top left of the screen. Sign up for 50% off using our summer sale. The Ultimate Fan Bundle, that gets you Inside Texas. That gets you On 3. That gets you Rivals. And that gets you some good insight, Justin, that we had pop up today. We have an official visitor this weekend, plenty of official visitors this weekend, but we got to talk about some that are coming in a couple weeks because this is an important one. We finally got a solidified, and I got air quotes around that, date for Monshun Sales. He's bounced around a few different dates for coming in.
Yeah, pump brakes on solidified, but it is trending that way.
It does look like June 19th is the date, and this is one that he has to show up for it to be really real, and we'll see. We'll see.
He has to show up. That's number one. I'm a little apprehensive, and my man Charlie, I want to hear his take on it too because he's actually got a good source within this recruitment. Texas is shooting their shot. Monshun is smart. The agent's making sure, hey, you better get to Austin. We need a competing NIL offer. You better get to Austin so we can give Indiana something to shoot for, Oregon for something for them to shoot for. And so this is what we call a business weekend. This is pure business. If he shows up, this is pure business. Talking to someone with Texas this morning, they are not even convinced he's coming. But you know what? When you got the best receiver in the class in Easton Royal, when you're trending big time for a commitment of Bryson Thrower on Saturday, hey, this is house money at this point. Let's just have some fun with it and speculate wildly.
Charlie, Justin mentioned that there is some stuff that does help Texas a little bit, and it sounds like, again, there are some things that are pushing him to continue to have interest, and we'll see if it's enough to actually get him to get on the plane and get to Austin.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on the live yesterday. Like, if you're Texas, you swing until you strike out, right? You never know how recruitments may play out. Sources around sales said he's coming to Austin on the 19th, so they confirmed that he's coming. But hey, like you said, once his body is actually walking through the doors at Moncrief, then we'll know for sure that he's here, or somebody catches him at the airport when he lands. But look, this is this opportunity for Texas to roll out the red carpet. He gets the last official visit for Texas as well before he makes a decision. And so if he actually shows up, and look, Texas has a chance to swing, and you never know. Now, it may be costly, whatever the case may be, but he's the number one receiver in the nation. How do you tell a kid like that no, right? And so if he actually shows up, then things can get very, very interesting. We've seen it happen before out of nowhere. Texas, not a team that's not even mentioned, or they creep up, and next thing you know, the kid's committing to him, right? So with this one, like I said, swing for the fences and see where he lands.
Charlie, if you're his agent, do you make sure you make this trip?
Oh, most definitely.
Like, that would be bad business if he didn't make it, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
There we go. I love the new college football, Joe. Take it from here.
We got to talk about some of the visitors that are heading their way this weekend. Monshun Sales, that's again supposed to be on the 19th. But we got some talented guys seeing Austin this upcoming weekend, starting on the 5th. And I did 5 top-rated defensive players. I also am working on 5 highest-ranked offensive players. That'll be up probably this afternoon. So let's go with the defense first. 5 highest-rated defensive visitors. Now we start pretty much at the top, Charlie. John Meredith, this is a big one. This is coming off of his Texas A&M official. This is coming off, him seeing some of the top programs in the country. And Texas has a big opportunity here to try to I don't know. Are they catching up? Are they having to catch up? Are they having to make their move? Where do you see this one?
I think it's tilting. I think you end up staying in College Station because now they're in the 7-on-7 tournament on College Station's A&M's campus right now. So North Crowley team is playing 7-on-7 tournament inside their indoor facility. So I don't even think he's left yet. And it was able to, I guess, tilt the balance back, right? And he said it felt like home. And every kid loves their official visit. Like, who doesn't? And so once he makes it to Austin, I'm sure the reports and everything could be different. Hey, now Texas is back. It tilted their way. So you got to let this one play out. And Justin has said it plenty of times, this is a December recruitment. So I think let things play out until December, but Texas is neck and neck with A&M.
Charlie, you remember when we were playing on the playground and we get on the seesaw? That's John Meredith.
There you go.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M. They're going to be seesawing for the next 7 months. And you know what? Nobody has that thing covered better than Charlie Williams.
Speaking of players, nobody has covered better than us and some of our good friends at Rivals. That'd be Marcus Facato. This is one that Texas needs to make a big impression on. It sounds like Justin. He sounds like he also enjoys every visit that he goes on, has big reviews, but Ohio State sounds like they've made a pretty big move and Texas needs to catch up some.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't think any team has made any significant move here. I think it's the same 5 or 6 that have kind of been hanging around the rim for the last 6 months. You know, this is a smart kid, and I'm sorry I'm bringing it back up. This is an agent-driven recruitment as well. You better like every visit you go on. You better say it felt like home. And if that's not a buzzword for recruiting, I don't know what is. This is what Texas can do. They're already in a great position. They just have to play it long because this is going to play out. They have to continue the edge sales pitch because that really, he was interested before that. Once they shifted it to Alan Clark, I think Texas ascended when it came to that. And so they need to continue that. Just doing him a great time. I believe Kasai Curry is also coming in this weekend, Joe.
He's up next. So say
he's up next. So, and I'll pivot to him a little bit too. Like these two guys, I almost feel like Samson in a well, like we're going to have to split the baby. Like I think Texas will get one of these guys and Facato or a Kasai Curry. Both of them play on the same team. They're going to come in on the same weekend. They're both recruitments mirror each other similar. It's the same 5 or 6 schools for Kasai that it is for Marcus. And so this is going to be one of those just jockeying for position. Each OV is going to be a school trying to outdo the other. I think Texas' plan is just to say, look, that's what we got. We've showed you everything for the last 9 months. This is where we're at. Here's your NIL offer. Tell us what we got to do to make this happen. And so it's going to be critical. This weekend is huge, I think, for those two guys. I mean, huge because they're going to take more OVs in the next 2 or 3 weeks as well. You want to leave that strong impression on them because these guys could be looking at a decision in September. In August and September. It's just one of those things where you kind of have to just let it play out because both are highly rated. Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State. It's all the same schools you're playing around with. We just got to figure out which position, which kid goes where.
Moving on, we got to go. It sounds like, this is going to be a big opportunity for Texas over the course of this weekend because, when you get that first official visit or you get an official visit, you have such glowing remarks and ideas and everything coming out of it. That sounds like what's happened with Toa Satele out of Oregon. Yeah. From Hawaii and with the Oregon Ducks, some predictions coming in for him. Yeah. Number 1 player in Hawaii. And Justin, I'll go back to you. Texas, this sounds like they're going to have to make up. This one actually does sound like they're going to have to make up some ground.
They are. And this is not uncommon. We see this happen every OV season. Sometimes an OV just hits harder than others. And you got to be ready to head on a swivel and to adjust. And I think that's what the Texas staff is doing in the last 24 hours. Those RPMs, there's some buzz that he gave Oregon a silent. And so, my first question catching up with a source within the program is, hey, you guys aware of this? Is this guy still taking his OV? They said yes. And he has assured them that he's still taking his OV. I believe that was as of last night. And so, and knowing Toa's kind of recruitment and kind of the person he is, I would be really shocked if he didn't visit Austin. Like him and Nansen have really built a nice rapport. Johnny went out there, I think, a couple times. And so there's a good bond there. But yeah, Joe, that's a prime example. Some OVs hit different than others. It's just the way it is. And Satele coming off of that Eugene trip sounds like Oregon checked every single box.
One more guy on defense to talk about. That's Jabarius Garar. Charlie, former Alabama commit, still has, I think, mostly Auburn talking to him, a little bit of Florida, a lot of Southeastern schools at least, not so Miami, not so much the Crimson Tide, but Texas, as they look to add to a class that has Cam Hall and Derwin Fields, is in a pretty good spot for Garrar ahead of his next trip to Austin.
Yeah, look, Texas has been in a good spot ever since Lowell Clark actually went by the school and just got a chance to connect with him and the coaching staff. They love Lowell Clark. Put on some highlights of Colin Simmons and say, hey, this is you. What kid's not going to love that, right? I can be the next Colin Simmons, oddly enough to say. But, I mean, look, Garrar is a phenomenal edge prospect. Lowell Clark has done a great job in this recruitment. Again, I feel like it's a kid who maybe wants to leave the state. And hey, what better place? You can still stay south and just come to Texas, come to Austin, Texas, and live out your dreams. But we'll see once the official visit is over, which way he's heading. I don't think Georgia or any other school is going to give up in his recruitment. Auburn's definitely trying to keep him in state and keep him home. They're selling playing time right away and things like that. So a lot of things stick out. They're close to him. He knew that staff when they were at South Florida before they even got to Auburn. So they've been recruiting for a while, but you just never know how things will play out with Garrar. But we'll see after the official visit this weekend.
Seems like Auburn's selling playing time to a good amount of prospects.
A lot of players. Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens when you get to a new spot.
If I'm a new staff, that's my number one talking point. Hey, I didn't recruit any of these just another guys behind me. Y'all, I'm pulling out the Charlie Weiss recruiting handbook. Hey, see all these suck-ass players? Yeah, guess what? I'm going to recruit you to replace them. It could work. It didn't work with Charlie, but it could work.
The funny thing is Charlie then pivoted to another way of just like taking 90 JUCO kids and then putting that program in scholarship hell at Kansas. So Charlie Weiss figured out how to mess up two different programs with two different recruiting strategies, which props to him. And I don't know.
His head got so big as the OC. He really thought he had something to do with Tom Brady, Joe. Like he really in his heart thinks he had something to do with Tom Brady's success. And he is still carrying that burden. He shoved that burden down his son's throat. That is still that you walk in their house in front of the door. I coach Tom Brady. It's like, no, man, come on, dude.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how to transition from that. We got to show some love to Roback. I get a new email from Roback pretty much every day. They got a new collection, but they also have the classics, that good looking blue and white hoodie right there, that great looking burnt orange hoodie. They've got joggers, hats, polos, everything, whether it's college branded stuff with the Longhorn on it, or just anything you're looking for to wear in the summer, on the beach, on the golf course. Go to Roback. Use that code INSIDE20 for 20% off all new customers. RHOBACK.com. All right. We talked about the 5 highest ranked defensive prospects visiting. Now we got to talk about the highest ranked offensive prospects visiting. And Justin, this one is, I don't want to say a little bit of a mystery, but it's one that we haven't heard as much involvement with the Longhorns in. Feel like he maybe ended up staying in his home state. But that's Khalil Johnson out of Cincinnati. Went to Archbishop Moeller, same high school, I believe, as Jackson Hayes.
And King Griffey Jr.
Oh, that's true. So you see the RPM on the side of the page, Georgia Tech. I think that's a little stale. But I think this one's coming down to some bigger players than some ACC programs, like namely Ohio State, if not a few others.
Yeah, you actually summarized this one real well. We don't have a great read on this, and we've got some sources at Ohio State that basically that he's grown up. That's his dream school, and that's why he's been recruited by them for a while. And honestly, we're told if they wave him in, he's coming to Ohio State. He's going to be a Buckeye, but he's not there yet. And so Texas looks like they're going to take their shot. Look, they've got plenty of offensive tackles identified within the district, within the county in the state of Texas. I'm a little surprised by this one. He's a decent prospect. I don't think he's any better than the ones they already have on the board. He's not Kamara. He's not Brian Swanson. Like, he's not either one of those guys. And so this is Texas, I feel like, just making sure, being diligent. And if Ohio State doesn't wave him in, hey, if he would be willing to take that third, offensive tackle spot, if it opens up, then this could be a guy instead of a Caleb Seiler or someone else in state. This one doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'll be totally honest with you. But again, like you said, we're not real familiar with him. We know how much flood sometimes will drive by schools out of state and see somebody, an offensive lineman, just a big human down on the field, and he'll just go walk down there and offer him. I feel some of that with Khalil Johnson. Like there's a little bit of that relationship when he went by there, but I can't see any connection beyond that.
Yeah, we'll see. It's hard to pull a Ohio kid away from Ohio State if Ohio State.
And I don't think you need to pull this kid. I think Texas has lined up their tackles. They got their ducks in a row. I think this is just being thorough.
Next guy up on offense, we got a string of commitments to talk about. We got to go with Noah Roberts first. Charlie, he's made his way to Austin a few times on his own dime. Now he gets to come celebrate, come see the coaches, and be in his future school, and also get to enjoy life in Austin a little bit as well.
Yeah, you get to come on this visit with your hair down, learn more about the program, the real about the program. But you get to hang out with some current Longhorns. Like you get to have a great time in Austin, see the city without, nobody's really selling you anything. Like you're here to have a great time. You learn about the program, but nobody's really selling you anything on official visits, I feel like. So he'll get a chance to see what the future's like living in Austin, everyday life, so to speak. And so it's good. Look, phenomenal running back. They let him know he's the guy. He bid on that take and like, yeah, I am the running back that you want in this class. And so he's in there. So I think last time he came was for the spring game or spring practice, whatever you want to call it, right? But now he gets to spend more time in Austin during his official visit, him and his family. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Coming from Chandler, Arizona, but can't wait to see, just what his thoughts. Somebody's already locked into the class. These become your main recruiters to other guys who are not committed, right? So he get to tell all the other commits why he chose Texas. I think that'll be huge.
We'll keep it going, Justin. We got to go on the interior of the offensive line. Keon Hemphill Woods from Columbus, Texas. That's not a far drive. We know he's not going to be flying from Austin to Columbus. It'd probably take longer to get through security and wait on a flight than he would to just drive there. So short trip for Keon Hemphill Woods and solidifying a pledge that has been pretty unshakable over the past couple months.
This was one of those early evals. I was talking to one of the sources with Texas the other day. I was like, man, y'all are killing the early evals this cycle. Like I can't remember Texas doing so well in that regard. KHW is one. He's in that category. I think he's a young guy. I think he, from a NIL standpoint, is an excellent pickup for how you want to allocate along the offensive line. This guy could play multiple. He can play guard. He can play tackle. He's going to be one that you got to get developed. Hey, like you were saying and Charlie was saying, now they've got to turn recruiter. And so they've got to kind of unify and get that together. And so, but hey, this is his dreams came true. This is one of the rare kids that the dream offer came through, and he's now committed to his dream school.
Keep it going. Go to another commitment. We got to talk to JT Geraci. And this is an interesting one because he'll be able to – I can't remember if Mekhi Allen is on this trip. I think he's the next week.
I think it's next weekend for Mekhi.
But, hey, JT, Charlie, he'll be able to tell Mekhi, like, hey, you were in College Station last week but the place you really need to check out is in Austin.
Yeah, definitely. Look, this kid, has been a commit for a while. He loves everything about the Longhorns. He said, hey, Texas needs to come and get some more of my teammates from Don Bosco Prep. We got ballers in New Jersey, and so he have a great selling pitch to his teammate Mekhi once he gets done with this official visit and tell him all about it. But I think he's one of those program guys who can come in and speak well about the program to all the kids.
Seems
ESPN has him as the number 7 tight end overall.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me look at that.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, and ESPN does weird rankings. Yeah.
No, I know. ESPN is the antichrist when it comes to recruiting rankings.
Let's see what let me pull up his actual. Yeah, number 7. But they also split tight end. It looks like
inline from an inline guy to a flex guy.
Yeah, which is
so unnecessary.
Very interesting.
Everyone knows a great tight end is both.
I do need to check because I think they may have a different ranking off. That may be something I do right after this. But
no, don't waste any more of your brain cells on that one, brother.
Justin, last but not least, this is one still on the books. Not a whole lot of noise coming out of it. Jeremiah Douglas, Vanderbilt commit from Crandall. This has been on the books for a while, and Texas is going to host him this upcoming weekend.
I don't think he's going to make it. I actually put in a request this morning. A request. Sorry, I put out an all points bulletin to see because last night Jeremiah Douglas shut down his recruitment.
I missed that one.
After I believe he had just taken his Vandy OV maybe last weekend, and everything is shut down. And so this is one that I would be a little surprised if he actually makes it to Austin. Texas wants 3 in this class. Easton Royal's number 1. Bryson Thrower is supposed to be number 2. That number 3 spot, Douglas was probably going to be a little too expensive for that 3 spot, because remember, you've got to allocate position by position when you do this kind of stuff. And so we'll get some more info on this one soon. But just understand, Texas really like this kid. There's a lot of upside to Douglas, but at the end of the day, you got to make the numbers work and you got to make the figures work. And so I don't know if Jeremiah is actually going to make it in this weekend.
Yeah, it looks like our buddy Sam Spielman said he canceled remaining official visits. So, well, that's it. And there were only 5 offensive players set to make an official visit. So now it looks like it's just 4.
This is defensive line weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And defensive weekend with someone like John Meredith there and Toa Satele as well.
This is defensive weekend. Next weekend is offensive weekend. And then June 19th through the 21st is Armageddon.
Yeah. Should be fun. We'll be tracking it over at Inside Texas, so make sure you come join. Use that first link in our description. Use that QR code at the top left of the screen. That'll get you 50% off Inside Texas, the best from us, the best from On3, the best from Rivals, through official visit season, through everything you could possibly ask for as a Longhorn fan. Justin, Charlie, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Recruiting Intel on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel.